Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and in case you missed it, there's a second trailer for the upcoming Rampage movie out to see. If you haven't seen the new trailer yet, go and see it. As for me, I've already seen it several times by now, so I'm going to do a little bit of speculating. There are a few things I want to discuss about where this movie could possibly go. So, assuming you've seen both trailers by now, as well as the images of the upcoming action figure series, let us begin. The first thing I'd like to do speculating on is the tone. When the first Rampage trailer came out, I noted that it was presenting itself as being fairly serious. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with a serious monster movie, except the source material, the Rampage video game, is very silly and tongue-in-cheek. So, basing a serious movie off of that feels kinda like it would be missing the mark. However, this second trailer feels like it's just a bit more in the category of being fun. It's still not quite presenting the idea of a full-blown cartoon parody, but it's closer in tone to the original games than the first trailer was. So that could mean the movie will have a slightly more comedic tone than we were first given to believe. I don't know, of course, and trailers have been known to mislead audiences before. We will simply have to wait and see. I think as long as Rampage the movie is fun, it will be alright. The second thing I want to discuss is the direction it seems to be going with the monsters and how it's referencing the kaiju genre as a whole. Interestingly enough, the direction the movie is going with its monsters seems to be slightly more obscure than the original games. All one needs to do is look at an image of the original game characters to see the obvious parody at play. George is meant to be King Kong, Lizzie is meant to be Godzilla, Ralph is, I guess, playing on the werewolf craze of the 80s? For the games, of course, it works. But for the movies, well, obviously, King Kong and Godzilla have come back recently. So, of course, the production would have to figure out how to make George and Lizzie distinct. Ralph doesn't necessarily have that problem. There aren't exactly many giant wolf monsters out there. But George and Lizzie would be a sticking point. So it would seem that to solve this problem, the production is drawing inspiration from some of the slightly lesser-known kaiju of the genre. Though I am sure people will continue comparing George to King Kong from now to eternity, I have to say the sense I'm getting from him feels more like Mighty Joe Young, what with him being more classically ape-like and having a connection to a human caretaker. Ralph has a flying scene. Regardless of whether or not he flew in the games, he looks a heck of a lot like Varan the Unbelievable. In fact, if Varan never gets a prominent role in a movie again, which given the amount of films he's been cut from seems very likely, this might very well be the next best thing. And as for Lizzie, this was actually pointed out to me in a conversation with Matthew Denian, author of the Atomic Rex kaiju novels. The new design for Lizzie, with its quadrupedal posture, color scheme, and tusks, make her look an awful lot like Gamera's opponent, Jiger. Look at this. Tell me there's no resemblance there. If it's a coincidence, it is an astronomical coincidence. So these two elements give me hope that the people making Rampage know what they are doing. I have noticed the trailers seem to be downplaying Lizzie's role. This could either mean they're holding back so as not to be confused with Godzilla, or it could mean Lizzie isn't going to show up until the third act of the movie. But anyway, that's just me thinking out loud. As always, you're all free to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer, signing off.